Coming up on Cedar Valley today, see what a late Wartburg secretary leaves behind for the Wartburg community. Wartburg Safe held a day of silence yesterday to promote suicide awareness, and Wartburg's basketball teams held their season openers last night. This is Cedar Valley Today. Good morning and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Kaylin Thompson. The late secretary to the president at Wartburg College, Cindy Carlson, left something behind for the Wartburg community after her death in October. Carlson was diagnosed with breast cancer and a chemically induced blood cancer that happened as a result of her chemotherapy. But before she died, she made a plan to help Wartburg female senior students in one final way. Let's take a look. Wartburg students didn't even have to leave campus to go shopping on Tuesday afternoon. That's because the late Cindy Carlson donated shoes, jewelry, and clothing from her own closet to help Wartburg seniors.
She just wanted to help seniors get a good start when they were interviewing or looking at grad schools or whatever opportunities were coming their way, recognizing how expensive clothing is.
Amy Pressel is a senior at Wartburg College. She says the free merchandise will be helpful when she starts student teaching next semester.
It's a perfect time in our lives, transitioning to having to dress professionally every day. So it's great that we're able to kind of get these free and just add them to our collections.
Because Carlson worked for the president at Wartburg College and was a cabbie clothes consultant, Trado says Carlson had a lot of clothes to give.
The first time I saw her clothing displayed like this on campus, it took me back because, of course, I recognized it as Cindy's clothing. Now when I see it, I'm going to be proud because Cindy was such a dedicated, determined, professional person, and she really did love seeing Wartburg students get ahead, and she is still helping them accomplish that.
Trado says she's happy this is keeping the conversation about her friend and coworker going.
Cindy's legacy was not her clothes, but more about the person she was, the professional person she was, the good woman that she was in so many ways.
Carlson's spirit is able to live on at Wartburg's campus, not from the clothes she left behind for students, but through the impact she had on those around her. Cindy Carlson's closet will be open again for Wartburg female senior students next Tuesday, November 22nd from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and again from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the Chapel Commons on Wartburg's campus. Yesterday, students at Wartburg College participated in the Day of Silence event held every year in November. This event was created by the Safe or Suicide Awareness for Everyone organization and has been around now for 5 years. The Day of Silence draws awareness to the amount of suicides that has occurred between the ages of 18 to 25. This year, 140 students signed up to participate, which sparked a lot of interest around campus.
Throughout the day, there's been a lot of interest on campus. A lot of people have gone to change after they've heard about the event, so that's always really hopeful. And one of our goals is to just spread awareness, and if we can get that light in some people where they want to go and change, that's really awesome. That's why we're here.
SAFE hosts other events throughout the year to create awareness about suicide prevention, such as a candlelight dinner and Stampede the Stigma 5K color run or walk. After the break, see how Wartburg's basketball teams did in their season openers. Stay with us.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Last night, Wartburg's men and women's basketball teams tipped off their seasons. The women's team played first, beating Cornell by a score of 68-50. The 10th-ranked Knights had 3 players score in double figures. Christy Summer led the way with 18 points off of 6 made threes. This was too short of the school record for a single game, which she set last season with 8 against Dubuque. The Murphy twins also each had 10-plus points, with Miranda scoring 14 and Megan scoring 12. The Knights' next game is on Saturday night against Edgewood at 6:30 in Levick Arena. The men's team also won in dominant fashion, beating Grinnell by a score of 126-100. This was the highest scoring game for the program since 2004 when they lost to Grinnell 130-128 in overtime. The Knights were led in scoring by 3 players with 20-plus points. Nate Wasty and Jaron Sabis each scored 24, while Jordan Cannon scored 23. The next game for the men in orange and black will be on Friday night against Marian University. The game will be in Levick Arena starting at 8:30. Wartburg will host its annual Buzz Levick basketball tournament this Friday and Saturday. The first game will be UW Oshkosh going against Iowa Westland at 6 p.m. on Friday night, followed by the Wartburg Marian game at 8. The losers of those 2 games will play in the consolation game on Saturday at 2 p.m., and the winners will play in the championship game immediately after that. Wartburg's women's team will play after the championship game against Edgewood. You can catch all 5 of those games by tuning into Night Vision or KWAR. Now after the break, we'll take a look at what's trending on social media. In the social media in the Cedar Valley. Have you seen these crazy videos where people stand still to literally look like mannequins? Well, it's called the Mannequin Challenge, and it's been trending on social media around the world. Now, the Waverly Public Library needs your help to make their own. Show up at the library this Sunday on November 20th at 4:50 p.m. to be featured in their Mannequin Challenge. All ages are welcome. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 11 in the morning, 2 fieldhouse courts in the Wartburg Waverly Sports and Wellness Center will be transformed into an indoor park. Parents are able to bring their preschool-aged children to the W on these days to run, play, and burn off energy. This upcoming Friday, the W will open up the pool at 10 a.m. for an hour of water fun. The fieldhouse will remain open during this time. This program is free for members and only $1 for non-members. It costs $2 for non-members to use the pool. Adults are free. And Casey's General Stores Incorporated has donated $50,000 to establish 2 scholarship funds at Simpson College. The scholarships are in memory of the 2 Central Iowa police officers who were killed November 2nd in separate ambush-style attacks. The 2 police officers shown here, Des Moines Police Sergeant Anthony Tony Baminio and Urbandale Police Officer Justin Martin, were graduates of Simpson's Criminal Justice Program. Baminio graduated in 2001 and Martin in 2015. Now here's a look at your local weather.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Join us now to talk about the do's and don'ts of business cards is speaker and educator Luann Alameo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Kaylin.
So to get started, why use business cards?
Well, that's a really good point. And they're not even though we have our phones and that sort of thing, you still need that card as visual in order for retention to remember that person. But it's the handshake left behind, and that's why business cards are so very important, because it says, I'm thinking about you. When you see that card on your desk, oh, I remember that conversation. And so it's just one of those great reminders that maybe I need to give them a call, maybe I need to email them again, follow up, that sort of thing. So it's a great reminder.
And what information should they contain?
Well, they should have every piece of contact information that you want on there. So if you want people to contact you by cell phone, fine. If you just want your office phone, that's fine. It should have a line of some sort that says something about you, your business, just some sort of tagline. And with my card, and I'll just point that out here, you can see my card here.
Mm-hmm. You can go ahead and hold that up.
Photographs are not always necessary, but as being a speaker, people want to see what you look like. And so if you're in the entertainment industry or if you're a speaker, you'd probably need to have your photo. But I also put all of the social media sites on the back. You can find me too. So if that's something that's available for you, then you should do that. But just information about you, a little descriptor, because actually this is a conversation piece. When you're at a network event, people should build conversation off of your business.
So almost like a mini resume then.
Almost, yeah, like a really condensed resume.
Okay, so you kind of mentioned the conversation starter.
Sure.
When and how should people use business cards?
Business cards are the most effective when they're presented maybe one-on-one or maybe one-on-two. It's not something, it's not a, as I say, it's not a poker game where you pass them out like you're playing poker in an instant, because it's to be a conversation between you and one or two people. It's to be intimate. And that way it's the most effective, and people remember you more and retain more. Otherwise, because you've probably seen an instance where people have given you a card and you say, oh yeah, and then they just tuck it away. If it's more one-on-one or one-on-two, then you can actually make a connection with the person where they're actually taking time looking at your card. This gentleman makes wood items, and I love the fact that he has a piece of one on there. So if you create something, that's a really good way to present yourself on your. So it's not a poker game. It's a connection experience between one and two.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Make sure to really make that between the one-on-one, the intimate card giving. So Thanks so much, and we'll be back after the break.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Some controversy caused Apple to change the look of their peach emoji, but now they decided to change course. The peach butt is back. Earlier this month, Apple changed the look of its peach emoji. That was after Apple officials heard the piece of fruit emoji looked much like a rear end. But Apple decided to reverse course again and change it back to look similar to the original, with just a slightly longer stem. Emojis are set by a group called the Unicode Consortium, but tweaks can be made by companies like Apple. Now here's a brief recap of today's top stories. Cindy Carlson's Closet has been opened up to female senior students at Wartburg College. SAFE held a day of silence yesterday for suicide awareness. And Wartburg's basketball teams won their season openers yesterday, both by pretty large margins, and the men's game did get up to triple-digit scoring. We just want to thank you for watching Cedar Valley Today. For the latest content from around the Cedar Valley, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great day, Cedar Valley.